What's good, y'all? It's your boy Havoc with Final Round. Breaking news, Canelo Alvarez may be going up to cruiserweight to face Ilunga Makabu, fighting out of the Republic of Congo. I'm not really familiar with this guy, but I did a quick little eye test. I looked him up. I saw a fight with Dmitry Kurikov, big old Russian who can crack. I've seen him fight at cruiserweight a few times. Pretty impressive win, and he looks like a solid boxer. He looks like a tactician. He doesn't look like one of these big clunky guys at cruiserweight. So it will be interesting. I don't know how much he can crack, but he's got 25 KOs on his resume out of 28 fights, and that's at cruiserweight. These dudes at cruiserweight, you know, they can pack a punch. It may not be like these, you know, like you think of a Tommy Hearns who he strikes you like lightning, but they got that thudding power. So, oh, and I also looked up his box rec, and I saw that he beat Mbutu. That's a pretty good cruiserweight. I'm familiar with him. And he did lose to Tony Bellew, but that's nothing to be ashamed of. Tony Bellew's underrated. He was a pretty damn good cruiserweight. And he was one of the few people to give Usyk like a lot of problems throughout his fight. I don't know to say a lot, but he gave Usyk some problems compared to most other fighters. So nothing to be ashamed of losing to Tony Bellew. In terms of how I feel about this, I don't know. I got mixed emotions. Well, I had mixed emotions at first. I was kind of confused because I was pretty sure we were going to see a fight with Benavidez or Charlo, or if anything in terms of moving up in weight, a fight against Bivol or Beterbiev or one of the cruiserweight champions. And this kind of came out of left field, and it didn't really make sense initially. It didn't make sense to me initially, but then when I started to think about it, I was like, this is actually a pretty brilliant strategic move in terms of building his resume. And is it a cherry pick? Yeah, it's a cherry pick, you guys. Let's call a spade a spade. That's the saying. I don't even know if that's the saying. By the way, kill the like button. Just destroy it. I need some likes, man. But anyways, let's get back on the topic. The way, we use this term cherry picking. I don't think it's all negative. It doesn't have to be a purely negative context, you guys, okay? Because Mayweather cherry picked, and when Roy Jones went up to face John Ruiz for a heavyweight strap, that was cherry picking. But it was strategic and it was smart. It was a good career move, and these guys have earned the right, or they have earned the right, to cherry pick and be the A side. Canelo is the Mayweather of boxing now. He's the face of boxing. He's the cash cow. He's the king of the freaking castle. He can do what the hell he wants because he earned that right. And when you think about it, this opportunity, I'm gonna guess it presented itself, and there was a small window to make it happen. Okay, he has a chance to go up and get a cruiserweight, the WBC strap at cruiserweight, against a guy that he matches up probably fairly well against. Okay, if you can accomplish that, that's a pretty big achievement on your resume and further solidifying your legacy as one of the greatest fighters of all time and one of the pound for pound best to do it. So I can't blame him. It's a brilliant move. Like, a lot of people may see it negatively. I don't see it negatively. It makes sense to me now. I didn't get it at first because he wasn't bringing much of a name, and I was like, well, this guy's not going to be much of an attraction, but this is Canelo Alvarez. Whoever he goes against, it's going to be huge. Okay, and then on top of that, you add the factor that he's moving significantly up in weight to get a cruiserweight strap. That's going to bring a lot of attention. It's going to be history. You know, people are going to tune in for that. So I'm not mad at the decision. Was it a cherry pick? Yes, it was a cherry pick, but I don't see it in the negative context of cherry picking. And I never blamed guys who've earned the right to cherry pick, okay, especially when they got to the top or they were a big name in boxing. I never blamed them for that. Now, if you're some young dude, you know, let's take like Gervonta Davis. I think Gervonta Davis, and I don't even think it's so much Gervonta Davis's fault. I think it's Mayweather who's cherry picking for him. It's like early on in his career, it's like, dude, take the muzzle off this kid. Let him fight. He's gonna be fine. Even if he takes an L, he's going to be fine. He's gonna be a big attraction in boxing. Okay, and I don't even think he would lose to most guys, even if there were good contenders against him. Okay, but I call that, like, to me, that's cherry picking in a negative way. Because here you got this young dude, Gervonta Davis. He's ready to go, man, and let him fight. Okay, I understand they got this business plan and they're trying to build up these fights, but that's like the bad cherry picking to me. This cherry picking by Canelo, I think it's more good than bad, because it's a move for building your resume and legacy, and he's earned that right. He go through his resume and look at Canelo Alvarez's resume. He's earned that right to do what the hell he wants. And then I also thought, well, okay, Benavidez, even though I wanted to see something like Benavidez or him go up to light heavyweight, Benavidez and Charlo need to fight each other. Now, I don't know if that fight is going to manifest, but if they want to be next in line, they need to settle it. And, you know, if that's Charlo decides to, they need to settle it. Okay, and whoever wins that fight, maybe they can get next in line. You know, earn your right to go and face Canelo. On top of that, get a little bit more experience against better fighters. You know, in terms of Beterbiev and Bivol, I don't want to say Canelo's ducking, but those are tough fights. There's a reason why I was a little bit confused, because I was like, well, if you're going to move up in heavyweight, why not take on a guy like Beterbiev and Bivol? And no, those guys don't have big names, but if you can beat a Beterbiev and Bivol at light heavyweight, that's huge. Not only are you know, earning a belt at another weight class, like, or you know, campaigning at light heavyweight because he did beat Kovalev, you're beating a top flight cruiserweight. Now, I'm sorry, you guys may disagree with me. I'm sorry, Kovalev was burnt out. He was burnt out when he faced Canelo Alvarez. But if you can beat Beterbiev or Bivol, dude, like, I would sit here and be like, this dude's pound for pound. Nobody's going to touch him. I don't think anybody's going to have a chance. You know, Crawford's not going to have a chance. But you beat Beterbiev or Bivol, or you unify at light heavyweight. It's even Usyk, if he won at beat Fury, beats Joshua again and beats Fury and becomes undisputed. It's hard to match if Canelo did that. So I was kind of confused on that. I thought if he was going to make a move up, maybe he would go for Bivol or Beterbiev or maybe another guy. But like I said, it took me a while to warm up to it, but I like it. It's a smart move, and I don't think it's a completely easy fight, you guys. I think Makabu, he's a fairly good boxer. Obviously, he's going to have to hope that his size makes some sort of a difference. If anything, I don't think he can crack. Like, I think he punches hard, but I don't know if he's, you know, a lights-out puncher, okay? But here's the thing. I think his size should help him endure what Canelo might throw at him. Now, like I said, I got to do some more research and film study. But if any huge advantage he should have throughout this fight, if this fight goes down, it should be that he's able to sustain the attacks from Canelo Alvarez coming. He should be big enough to where it doesn't affect him. And for all these people, this is actually cool, because if Canelo does win, you're finally going to see that size is not as big as you think it is. Now, granted, Canelo is a very skilled boxer. He's very good, okay? But it still should make a huge point that if you have the skills, you can overcome the size discrepancies, all right? I heard it with Usyk. Oh, he's too small for heavyweight. What are you talking about, you guys? This guy spars heavyweights on a regular basis. And supposedly Canelo spars cruiserweights and heavyweights, which is common. I spar with heavyweights. I mean, walking around, I'm technically a cruiserweight. I fight at light heavyweight. But who do you think I'm sparring against? Heavyweights, cruiserweights, light heavyweight. I mean, I spar against all guys from all different sizes and weight classes, right? So we're not boxers aren't unaccustomed to, unless you're significantly small, aren't unaccustomed to, you know, matching up with guys who are significantly bigger than them. So Canelo Alvarez is not going to be anything completely new to him, just like it wasn't new to Usyk to go up against a heavyweight like Anthony Joshua. But Usyk is not, you know, he may be undersized to a certain extent, but he has the skills, the right mentality, and the ability to overcome that. And I will say the same applies when he goes up against Fury. I'm not saying that's going to win him the fight, but he will be able to compete because he's that skilled. Okay, just as Canelo Alvarez is going to be able to move up in weight, he's going to be able to compete just fine, if not have tremendous success. So it's a testament to how great Canelo is, but it should make a statement to people in boxing and especially competitors that, look, you can overcome size. All right, don't think that you got to cut all this weight to be, to get these to be a weight bully, okay, or to be good. You can be good as an undersized fighter. We saw it at heavyweight, okay, with Mike Tyson. We saw Tua. He was like 5'10". He had a lot of success. The Camden Buzzsaw, he was only like 5'6", and he was competing at cruiserweight and heavyweight. So this size thing, like, we need to stop with it. But I'm not mad at the move, man. I think it's a good strategic move, especially on the resume and long term and looking back, because at the end of the day, if he pulls this off, it's gonna look really good in terms of comparing him to the greats. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and check out some more videos on my channels. I'm trying to do some more film studies, but guys, I'm busy. We got the big fight against Porter Crawford. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do as much as I would like to, but life calls. And I'll be doing some breakdowns and predictions if I have the time. But once again, I would like to know what you guys think about this matchup and Canelo going up to cruiserweight. What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's cherry picking? If he is cherry picking, do you think it's bad? Yeah, but this is your boy Havoc. Get at me with Final Round. Join the fam. We're building. We're growing.